Hey guys, it's George. It was the 2023 Grammys on Sunday, and let me tell you, this red carpet was a mess. A mess. I sat and went through over 250 looks, and I'd say about 5% of them are incredible. Like 15 to 20% are good, and then we go downhill fast. It really does make you question whether the people attending hired stylists, whether their stylists are playing jokes on them, and then when you think about how much these stylists are getting paid, and that is the look they've given that client and told them that they look good, it's like, ugh. I'll sit and take you through some of my least favourite looks at the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But for now, I've got a handful of the red carpet looks here on my laptop. We're going to go through, unpack the looks, talk designers, cuts, silhouettes, all of that good stuff. And then, as it's a review, I'll be rating each look out of 10 yellow hearts. If you're new here, hi, hello, and you want to learn more about my fashion background, I've left a little blurb in the description box, but let's just jump into our first look. Kicking off my Grammys 2023 review, we've got Bebe Rexha on the red carpet wearing Moschino. I absolutely love this look. The shade of pink on her is incredible and styled with that bleached blonde Farrah Fawcett style 70s glam hair. She just looks unreal. I like how the neckline wraps over the bust. You're getting that keyhole cut out, and then the way that the waist and the skirt of the dress has been draped, it snatches her back in at the waist and cascades to the floor. It's a very feminine dress, but there's like a level of sexiness to it because of the keyhole cut out. And then the elbow length glove, again, we're getting the ruching of the glove, and I like how the glove sits on her arm just where that waist panel starts to wrap, so the lines match up so beautifully. The styling itself has been kept very simple. You can see that she's got a ring over the glove on her right hand, and then she's got the giant hoop earrings, which you don't really notice at first, but they're there, so I think it's a nice touch because it's very, very subtle. The dress is the start of the show. Bebe Rexha, this is 10 yellow hearts. You look incredible. Taylor Swift and Roberto Cavalli. I'm really underwhelmed by this. I like the colour on her, I like the silhouette of the high neck, the strong shoulder, the long sleeves, but it just doesn't have like a lot of oomph on the red carpet for me. The really dark midnight blue with all of the embellishment that's like in different clusters, it looks a bit dated to me. It's not looking very modern, and I also really don't like the length of the skirt. The fact it's the same length all the way around is too long for her in the front. It should be a bit shorter in the front, so it's like skimming her feet and then cascading to a train in the back. That would immediately improve this. I do like the fact that the skirt's sitting right on her hips at the waist, and then the crop top is a good proportion on her, and I like how it's been styled with the statement earrings. It doesn't distract from the embellishment, but I'm underwhelmed. So this is 6 yellow hearts. Let me know what you think of this one in the comments. Olivia Rodrigo wore Miu Miu on the Grammys 2023 red carpet, and this is another nude illusion style dress that we're seeing from her, and I just think this is so boring. It's so boring. I'm sorry, it's really boring. I do like the fact that it's this 90s cut. We're getting this 90s little black dress kind of vibe with the square neckline, the spaghetti straps, but apart from that, there's nothing to it. We can see that we're getting this paneling in the sheer fabric. She's got the necklace around the neck, which it literally just looks like a pebble on some string. It doesn't flatter the neckline, it doesn't add anything to like the clavicle. And we've seen a nude illusion look from her before at the 2021 American Music Awards, where she was wearing British designer David Comme, and that was so much stronger. I'm really disappointed by this look. This is 5 yellow hearts. Lizzo stepped out on the red carpet and she's giving us drama in Dolce & Gabbana. I absolutely love the shade of orange on her, and when you look at her makeup, the way it ties in to this cape that she's wearing, it's just spot on. Another thing I like is how you've got all of that floral applique that's really heavy around her head, and then as it cascades to the floor, it gets lighter and ombres out towards the hem of the cape. The only thing for me I don't like about this is the overall silhouette. It's just the fact it's so huge, there's no shape. It's just like a one big triangle. So I like the fact it's dramatic, I like the colour, I like the applique, but there's no consideration for the silhouette. So I'm gonna give this 8.5 yellow hearts. There are elements about it that I absolutely love, but Yeah. What do you think about this in the comments? Am I being too picky? Let's talk about Cardi B in Gaurav Gupta. This has to be one of my favourite looks, like hands down. This deep royal blue on Cardi B, it looks unreal. And then the sculptural element of the dress, how it's sweeping from the waist up and over her shoulders, and the piece that goes over her head, it's just so soft, but there's drama to it without it being harsh. And then the fact it drapes from the waist around her hip and then back up, it's just really highlighting the shape of her body, and it's just really like enhancing that like hyper feminine shape that she has. And then it cascades to the floor, that long train. It's dramatic, but it's soft, and I just love the sheer quality of the sculptural upper half of the dress. And then on top of that, it's just been styled perfectly. We've got the statement earring, we've got the statement ring, and then the statement bracelet. There's nothing to distract from the soft drama of this dress. There's nothing to distract at the neckline. It's just spot on. This is 10 yellow hearts. Right, our first menswear look of this review, we've got Paak, and I feel like this is definitely his usual vibe. We've got this very bold suit, and I feel like whenever I see him, he's always wearing a really bold suit. I really like the overall cut of the suit, double-breasted 6-button. It's got the peak lapel, which is where your lapel piece comes out wider than your collar piece at the upward diagonal. And then we can see he's got the 6 buttons, 2 of them, the top and the bottom are green, and that middle one is black. So I like the fact that they're matching the colour of that edging and the colour of the buttons back into the print. And then the trouser, it looks like a straight, almost like a slight flare that sit over the black boot. And then how it's been finished with the green hat, the pink sunglasses that tie into the colour of the print. The print itself, I'm not the biggest fan of. I think it's just because the scale is so large and blown up, and then it's against that really white background. I'm just not loving the print itself. So the cut, the boldness of it, great, but the print, just not my favourite. So this is 8 yellow hearts. Laverne Cox wore Kim Kassas. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments there. She looks so beautiful. The combination of black and gold. And the shape of the dress. The square. Will you stop? And the cut of this dress in this beautiful mock black crocodile leather. The square strapless neckline, and then how it comes down into the waist, and you've got those exaggerated hips, and they're just the perfect exaggeration for her body. It's not like, I've said many times, exaggeration on the hips can be very dangerous. It can make you look really fucking rogue, but this is perfect. It's just the right amount. And then you can see the dress skimming around her hips in the shape falling to the floor. What I love about this dress is when you zoom in and you can see the embellishment on the bust and at the waist, and see that it's ancient Egyptian gods. When you see it, you can't unsee it, but it's quite subtle against the texture of the dress. It doesn't take anything away from it. If anything, it adds. And I really like the statement necklace with it, actually. You guys know by now that I'm always like, take the necklace off, it distracts from the neckline. But I think where it's a collar and it sits higher up on the neck and it's just touching the collarbone, it keeps this area clean, so it's not distracting. Imagine if it was a necklace that went plunging into the bust. Ruined. No. Laverne Cox, this is 10 yellow hearts. Beautiful, beautiful look. Back to menswear, we've got Little Uzi Vert. I'm a big fan of this look. It's quite simple, but when you look at the pieces themselves, it's definitely very contemporary, especially with the styling. Obviously, the Liberty Spike hairstyle. I love the hairstyle of this. It's just taken it in a more stylized editorial direction. Lil Uzi Vert is wearing Comme des Garçons. I love the fact that this is a blazer with a more contemporary touch. The Coach jacket style collar, the fact it's buttoned all the way up and it's single-breasted 4-button, and the jacket itself is fairly cropped, hitting him right on the hip, and we've got those curved quarters, which are fairly traditional, and then we can see he's got the bow pieces on the sleeves. So just those few aspects really push it in a more contemporary direction. It's then been styled with the slim cut trousers and those really huge chunky Balenciaga shoes. I love the chunky shoe of this. It's just, again, pushing it in a more stylized direction. More of like a traditional dress shoe would have looked good with this as well, but the shoe just finishes it off. And I love the snake necklace wrapping around under the neck. Anitta in Atelier Versace, 10 yellow hearts, you guys know. I'm gonna love this. Dramatic black textures. I love the sweetheart neckline and then how it's very fitted to the body, to the mid-thigh, and then it sweeps out and cascades into that beautiful dramatic ruffled train. This is drama without it being like really in your face or like overbearing or like, oh, like what is going on? But dramatic. I love this, and all of the different textures of black that you can see in the body. The piping, the crochet, the lacing, and then how the paneling on the body is like pulling her in, going back out over the hip, and then you can see it then bursts out into that train. It looks like the ruffles just ombre out from the body. Texturally, it's perfection. The only qualm I have with this is the use of jewelry. The earrings, the rings, great. But the diamond necklace that's coming down and sitting right on the bust, I just don't feel like we need it. It would have looked so much better if we kept that clean. The necklace isn't adding anything. And I know this is always a point that I make. I probably sound like a broken record, but it's just really not needed here. Offset is on the red carpet wearing a white contrast pique lapel tux. And the styling of this saves this. I think the tux itself is quite boring. I do like the contrast pique lapel with the contrast black buttons, and I do like how it's been styled with that chunky low fur. But I just, yeah, the suit itself is kind of drab. It's a very standard cut of suit. I think it would have been nice to have seen a more contemporary cut of tux, and the styling is nice, like the white shirt with the pearl collar, but then I think it would have been great if we tied some pearls in somewhere else, even if it was just some pearl earrings or like a pearl bracelet, just something simple like that, just to like tie that element together. So for me, this is 7.5 yellow hearts. I think it's like a really cool direction to go in, but the suit itself is a bit dry. And I feel the same about Future's look on the red carpet. It's very classic men's event wear, and I just would have expected something far more contemporary. It is a nice look with the shawl lapel, single-breasted one button, and then he's got the point collar shirt with that brown bow tie and then the matching press studs. So it is very slick, but I just would have wanted something more contemporary on him, especially when you look at artists like Eric the Architect, who showed up in this beautiful soft pink suit, the wide notch lapel, and then how it's been styled with the high neck, the heavy chain, the hat. It just has more personality. It leans more youthful and contemporary, and it's just more of a vibe overall. So Future, this is 7 yellow hearts. Camila Cabello in Pat Bow. I'm not the biggest fan of this, if I'm completely honest. I just feel like there's so many like different things going on. You've got the triangle top that's made out of the pearl. She's got the flowers on the nips, and then you've got the cutout that sits underneath the bust, and then you've got the thigh split. So it's just kind of like your eye doesn't really know where to go. I think you kind of need to do like one or the other in this case. I think even if you got rid of that cutout that sits underneath the bust, and from the bust down it was solid black, maybe like close the thigh split or close the thigh split in the front in general, and then had a little split in the back to, you know, give movement and like a little flash of the shoe, it would just improve this. This is just obviously my opinion. I just think where you have all of the embellishment at the bust and then a cutout and then thigh, is just, where does the eye go? I think the shape on her is beautiful, snatched at the waist, coming over the hips, and then the shape of the dress itself, it flares out ever so gently, and the styling is all about the jewels at the bust. There's no necklace or anything else to distract from it. So for me, this is 7 yellow hearts. I think this could have been great, but yeah, the dress needs some tweaking itself, in my opinion. Let me know what you think of this one in the comments. Okay, for me, The look we're about to talk about has to be my favourite women's wear look from the 2023 Grammys, and that is Doja Cat in Atelier Versace. This full latex moment, the asymmetric neckline, how it's so snug to the body, tight to the waist, tight over the hip, and then as it hits the knee, it flares out into this beautiful train that's just sitting so perfectly on the red carpet. And then the over the elbow glove and the side that we can see how it sits so flush with the line of that asymmetric neckline. It's just, the lines are just perfection. And then the styling itself, the very short cropped black hair, the black statement earring, it adds drama to the look, but it doesn't distract from the dress. And I just love the latex on the red carpet, how it's picking up all of the flashes, it's reflecting. The texture is so satisfying. And I also feel like there's kind of like a Morticia Adams kind of vibe to the silhouette of this dress with the train. 10 yellow hearts. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And then we go in the complete other direction with Casey Musgraves in Valentino. This is such a big miss for me. And for me, it comes down to the colour of this. The colour being this very pastel, washed out, muted pink. It just looks so fucking bizarre. And it's the fact you've got the skin tight bodysuit, the matching pump, and then the ostrich feather cape. It looks so weird. And I remember doing that controversial K-pop outfits video like a while back now, and it was the group that had like the pink sausage outfits. When I saw this, it just immediately made me think of that. And I think if Valentino had created this outfit in that like bold magenta pink that they're known for, it would be a completely different vibe. It's just the colour of it has completely missed the mark. This is 4 yellow hearts. And it's such a shame because I feel like Casey Musgraves always turns out a look on the red carpet. I remember reviewing some of her previous looks before and I was like, this slaps. This misses so hard. Continuing on a theme of misses, we have Benny Blanco, and this is one of the examples at the start where I was talking about having a styling team. Like, did he pick this out himself? Did he have a styling team? Because the styling team done him so dirty. It looks like he's going to a music festival or his first day of kindergarten. Like, it's not red carpet at all. The denim anorak that's oversized, hitting him just at the top of the thigh. All of the different embellishment around the neck, around the hood. The rainbow applique on the right cuff, and then it's a different design on the other cuff, and then how it's been pulled through into the short with like the magic mushrooms going around the left leg. The thrilly sock, and then the hideous Dr. Martens shoes. I think if they're styled correctly, they could be cool with like a sheer sock, something like that. But this styling with this outfit, they're atrocious. I just honestly don't understand the thought process of putting this outfit together to go to the Grammys. It really does not make any sense in my head. This is 1 yellow heart. This is probably, for me, I'm not saying that this is fact, this is my opinion, this is probably one of the worst red carpet looks I've ever seen. Kim Petras, Sam Smith, Violet Chachki and Gottmik attended the Grammys together, giving this strong all-red moment. You guys know I love an all-red moment. For me though, Sam Smith's look, it just ruins the overall aesthetic because their look is reading very costume, whereas Kim, Violet and Gottmik's looks are reading in a more fashion-led direction, and it just juxtaposes and stands out for the wrong reasons for me. The top hat with the lace around the eyes, I do quite like the drama of it, but then we get the cape with the voluminous collar, the voluminous sleeves, and then they've got the latex gloves on with the cane. I just don't understand it in comparison to the other looks. And Sam Smith released a new music video, like a week ago, a few days ago, and the looks in that are like very controversial for the public. And I just don't really understand why they didn't go for a look that was in more that direction, more in keeping with that music video, and it would have been very in keeping with the other looks on the red carpet with them. So Kim Petras, she's giving me a Madonna vibe, like a virgin. I love the red veil in her hair, the way it contrasts against the bleach blonde hair and then the bright red lip. And then the dress itself, the volume with that off the shoulder cut going across the bust, snatched at the waist, and then the volume in the skirt. And I do actually really like the heavy necklace with it. Where it's so heavy is taking up the entire space, so it's not like a little like dainty thing in the way where you're like, meh, it's pointless. This necklace has a point to it. Violet Chachki's look has to be my favourite. The choke of the padlock around the neck giving us that super like hard, tough element against the softness and femininity of the dress. Oh my god, the different levels of sheer fabric in the dress itself, how it's sheer on the bust and at the waist, and the waist is snatched as always with Violet, and we're getting that very soft, thin spaghetti strap into the plunging V, and then you'll notice that the sheer fabric gets more dense in the ruffles as it wraps around her hip and cascades into that train to the floor. The amazing legs out, the heel so high, her foot is literally like about to break. Love this. And then Gottmik's look, I love how it's emulating that split of Violet's, but the dress itself is a completely different vibe. High neck, strong shoulder, latex, and then those gradient black lines that pull your eye down into the middle of the dress, highlighting the bust, highlighting the waist. And I like how it's long sleeved, so we're getting a completely different silhouette, a completely different fabric, but as I said, that thigh split, the amazing leg out on show, and then that pointed black heel with the red cap. So good. This is 7.5 yellow hearts from me. 3 fashion-led looks and then 1 more like costumey-led look. It just doesn't sit together as great as it could. Harry Styles and Egon Lab. I'm gonna get in trouble for this. I really don't like this. In my opinion, this just looks like an outfit that he would wear on tour, and he's wearing it on the red carpet. This outfit is not red carpet at all. It's like when I do my K-pop red carpet reviews and I'm saying it's reading a lot more stage than red carpet. This is exactly what this look is for me. The outfit itself is a stage look. Amazing. All of the colours, the shine, the cut of it. He's getting the titty out. He's getting the cleavage out for us all, like the tats on show. Great. But just for a red carpet look, I just really don't think this is it. Like, and I've seen this on so many best dress lists, and I feel like you're just putting him on the best dress list because it's Harry Styles. I'm going to give this 5 yellow hearts. I've seen maybe like a 70-30 split with like 70 on best dress, 30 on worst dress. So let me know your opinions in the comments. Pharrell gave us a red leather tracksuit on the red carpet, and you can see that it's quilted with all of the studs where those diamonds meet. And I like the styling of his, where he's got the Tiffany sunglasses, he's got the little black hat. It really pulls it together. But then his wife Helen is wearing a matching tracksuit in all black, and I just feel like she's kind of like drawn the short straw out the pair of them, because his styling like really amps this look up, whereas with her there isn't really much styling to it. She's got a few bracelets on, a watch and some earrings. There's nothing like taking it there. So Pharrell is like stealing the show, and then her look is just kind of like sat below, and I don't really think that's the point when you show up to an event in like matching couple outfits. So this is 7 yellow hearts overall for me. Like, I like the idea of like a matching couple look on the carpet. I think it's cute, but I think when one person is styled better than the other, like it just immediately makes it questionable to me. Like, I couldn't imagine going somewhere in a matching outfit of someone and like my outfit not looking as good as theirs. I would be pissed. Up next, we've got Viola Davis in Naeem Khan. I really like the colour palette of this dress, and I like the cut. It's a very simple cut, the crew neckline, the little cap sleeves, and then it's a very flattering fit on her. She looks amazing, how it's very tight on the waist, over the hips, and then it falls in that straight shape to the floor. The only thing I don't like about this is the combination of tassels and sequins, and I'm not saying it looks bad. I really think it just comes down to like a personal taste thing. I think for me, it would have been so much better if it stayed in the sequin in that shape, and then there was a little split in the back, so you're getting that break of flesh. I just think how it goes from the combination of like the burnt orange with the silver, the blues, and then the black lines, and then it just blocks out into the orange and the black. I just don't like that. Viola Davis, this is 7 yellow hearts. Shania Twain and Harris Reid, I'm honestly in two minds about this. I think the actual suit itself is quite cool, but I think the styling of it just really leans it in like a weird place. Like the massive oversized hat with the red wig, I'm assuming it's a wig. If it's her own hair, I do apologize. But I think where the hat is so oversized and then you just have like the contrasting red wig, it just like almost makes it like jokey. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like if you really reduced the hat and maybe went for like an all black hat that was like super chic, so it then tied in with like the black corset underneath and then obviously the black sequin polka dots, and then did like a low slick bun or like a really slick hairstyle underneath, it would have like really lent it in like a more like sophisticated chic direction, whereas this is like, yeah. I do like the cut of the suit, the plunging SB1, the different scales of polka dots in the black sequin against the matte white, and I do like the dramatic flare of the trouser, so it's a great silhouette. I just feel like the styling really fucks with this outfit. So this is 5.5 yellow hearts. Such a missed opportunity in my opinion. Denzia. Oh, Denzia. The last time I saw Denzia on the red carpet, it was pretty wild. It was very, you know, out there in your face, and that just must be her aesthetic. There is a lot going on with this look. The styling of the sunglasses, I don't really feel like it was needed, and then you've got all of the jewels around the head, you've got the collar with all of the jewels on the inside, there's embellishment on the outside of the collar, it looks like there's feathers coming off of the shoulder, there's embellishment down the arm, embellishment at the waist, and then you can see that there's embellishment coming up and around the bust, so it's just so much going on. And then you have like the black bodysuit underneath with the asymmetric skirt cascading to the floor on one side, and it's just too much at once. This look really needed to be edited down. Like imagine if you took the collar away, the feathers, all of the embellishment on the sleeves and the outside, and you just had a really fitted black bodycon dress that came up over the head in the hood, and then the jewels like cascaded and it was like heavy on top, like kind of like Lizzo's, you know, it was like really heavy on top and then it like ombra'd out to nothing. That would immediately improve this. There's just way too much going on. This is 5 yellow hearts. I just think people need to learn how to edit. Like it's really easy to like step back, look at something from a distance and be like, okay, we need to remove X, Y, and Z, or like, oh, this is boring, let me add X, Y, and Z. Next up, we've got Jack Harlow, and I believe he's wearing a menswear designer called Ernest Baker. Overall, I do like the vibe of this look. I like the taupey colour of the suit, and then how he's got the shirt and tie underneath. That tie literally like match into the suit, and then he's got that piece of knitwear in that lighter like creamier tone, so it just really like offsets it. And then I do like the styling of the black high shine shoe and then the black leather glove, because it adds like a toughness to this otherwise soft suit. For me though, the proportions of this jacket are completely off. The trousers are fine, but this crop jacket, double-breasted, and then you can see the hemline of the jacket is sitting right on top of his hip. And then it's the placement of the buttons to me that completely throw it, because you can see the break of the jacket, which is where the lapel is folding back, is sitting higher than where the buttons are placed. So if the buttons were actually placed where that break is, it would pull the line of his waist up and it would give us more of that leg elongation. Where the buttons are placed there, it's kind of like they're trying to shorten his body, but then the button placement is like pulling his waist down. It just looks off. So I'm going to give this 8 yellow hearts. Sticking with menswear, we've got Landon Barker on the red carpet, and you guys know I'm going to love this. All black. Very slick silhouette, very slim silhouette. The leather details at the shoulders giving us that harness effect. The plunging neckline into the SB1. and then the cutouts at the waist that line up perfectly with that button. We can see as well that this is a peak lapel, and the peak lapel just sits right up against that leather harness piece, so it's not distracting. And then he's got all of the necklaces around the neck that pull the eyeline down. It's been styled with the very slim cut trouser and then that high shine heeled boots. It's just slick, like slick, all black, different textures, the leather, the painting, and then the breaks of flesh. I absolutely love this. This is 10 yellow hearts from me. I want this outfit. I need this outfit. Moving on to Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. Let's start with Megan Fox. Megan Fox is wearing Zaher Murad. I love this look. The cut of the dress on her, it's a very simple cut of dress, but it's very form-fitting, and it's just how it's tight to the hip and then it flares out into this very soft train, and then all of the drama comes in at the waist where you can see this embellished corset piece. And what I love about this is that you can see the construction of the dress. It's sheer. You can see the boning and all of the beautiful construction that makes this dress so form-fitting and just beautiful. And then it's how the embellishment on the corset is coming up around the bust and onto the straps, so it makes it part of the dress. It's not just like a heavy, like clunky, like piece around the waist. And then we get to Machine Gun Kelly and Dolce & Gabbana, and this look really just reminds me of the Austin Powers movie where they go to the moon and they're all wearing metallic silver outfits like this. And it's just the combination of the metallic silver, and then he's got that top on underneath that's got all of the cutouts, and then he's got the jewels around the neck that then go down into like a body harness over the top, and then the metallic silver boot with the metallic silver trouser that has that split to sit over the boot. It's just so much. This is a very questionable outfit choice for me. So this is 7 yellow hearts. Megan Fox looks unreal, but Machine Gun Kelly's outfit just really pulls it down. Paris Hilton attended the Grammys wearing Celine in this beautiful gleaming dress, and I love the shape of the neckline, how it really cuts down on the bust. You've got that wide cutout, and then you've got the flesh of the stomach as well, and there's nothing to distract up here. It's all about that detail. And then the dress is very fitted at the waist and it comes down over her hips. The only thing I don't like about this dress is the fact that it doesn't come back in. It just comes straight down from the hip, the same width as the hip. So the skirt of the dress just looks a bit shapeless to me. I think if we just came in ever so slightly, I don't mean it needs to be like skin tight to the hip. I'm just saying it just needs to like come back in ever so slightly and then go back out. It would just improve the overall shape of the dress. Paris Hilton and Celine, this is 8 yellow hearts. I do really like the styling as well with the hair, like the half up down with the knot and then like the spikes that we're seeing. That definitely makes me think of like early noughties red carpet. So up next we've got St. John in Margiela, and this is my favourite menswear look from the entire Grammys. It's chic, it's slick, but it's contemporary. Double-breasted, 6-button, peak lapel. It's like a classic cut of menswear suit, but this suit has got a flared trouser that sit just so beautifully over that tabby boot. You wouldn't really know he's wearing the tabby boot unless you zoom in and you can see that little split in the toe, and then how it's been styled with the black clutch bag, and then he's got the necklaces around the neck that sit tight, so it's not distracting from the shirtless styling. It just really enhances it. I just think this is a fantastic look because it's understated, it's classic menswear, but the fit of the trousers and the textile that they've used, it's very contemporary, and then it's been styled with a contemporary boot and bag, so it's a complete mix. I love this. 10 yellow hearts. Up next, we've got her. And when I think back to her's previous looks, I don't really feel like I've been the biggest fan, but I love this. I think it's really chic, the silhouette of it, and the textures of it are so beautiful. The velvet on the upper half of the dress, and then the burnt out sheer fabric underneath. And This is a technique, I believe it's called Devore, and you can use it on velvet where you paint a chemical onto the fabric and it burns out the fibres and you're left with the sheer against the solid. So I think the sheer with the velvet in that pattern, it really ties in beautifully to the top of the dress, and the different densities of the fabrics really play off together beautifully. The shape of the corset as well, it adds a lot of structure to the top half of the dress, and I do actually really like all of the heavy necklaces this time. And I think it's because they work with the neckline of the dress, the square neckline, and obviously the bust is really pushed up because of the corset, and the way that the jewelry like drapes into the bust, it like pulls your eyeline down to the structure of the corset. And then we've got, you know, the standard hair styling with the sunglasses, and then her hair just looks insane, like the beautiful voluminous curls. It just finishes off the look perfectly. So this is 9 Yellow Hearts. Sebastian Yatra wore D squared to the Grammys, and I absolutely love this suit. A very contemporary take on a menswear classic. We can see that this is a take on a double-breasted 6-button jacket with that contrast peak lapel, but you can see under the left panel of this double-breasted suit, they've put in that collarless wrap that comes around to the other side of the body. It's covered in embellishment, and it's the same fabric underneath as that contrast peak lapel. And then the embellishment cascades down into the wide leg trousers with that high shine boot that have that beautiful shape at the sole. So such a contemporary take on a menswear classic, and I love how the embellishment picks up under all of the camera flashes. The only thing for me that I really don't like is the fucking necklace. It doesn't add anything. If anything, it's distracting. Like, we don't need a necklace that's draping down. You have the embellishment and the shine coming through on the jacket and on the trousers, so just taking that necklace away would immediately make this a 10 out of 10. The necklace is really irking me. So this is 9 Yellow Hearts. Moving on to Queen Latifah, I believe she's wearing Tom Ford. I feel like when you zoom in, you can see Tom Ford in the black piece worn underneath. For me, I'm not the biggest fan of this. I think where it's literally black from the neck to the floor, there's no real breaks of flesh. I know we have like the lacing detail at the bust, but I feel like it just really closes it up here, whereas if the top was slightly more open, I think it would be more flattering. And I know this is a sheer fabric. It looks like that Devore technique that we were just speaking about with her in this floral print, but I think where Queen Latifah stood against a black background in an all black outfit, you're not getting to see like the real sheer quality of this outfit. So this is 6 Yellow Hearts from me. I feel like we've seen her in a lot better. Mary J. Blige gave us metallics on the Grammys red carpet, and I love the shine of this look. I like the strong shoulder going down into that long sleeve, and I like the solid gold belt. It gives her great definition at the waist, and then how it's been finished off of those pointy metallic boots. The only thing I don't like are the hip cutouts. They just don't add anything to the look for me. It doesn't really like enhance the silhouette or like enhance the cut of the dress. It's just, you know, and it just looks like someone's added a design detail for like design detail's sake. That's how it looks to me, at least anyway. So 6.5 Yellow Hearts. Thames attended the Grammys wearing Vivienne Westwood, and straight away you can tell this is Vivienne Westwood from the shape of the corset, from the shape of that sweeping neckline into the points. And I love how on her left side you get that softness of the silk draping off of the shoulder, and then on the right side you get the pearls draping down the tight into the necklace, and then the pearls in her hair as well. It just ties it all together so beautifully. The shape of the dress on her as well is just unreal, how it's wrapping around the hip, cascading to the floor, and then you get that separate train piece trailing off in the back. It's very soft and elegant, but just how you get straight away that it's Westwood, and then the colour as well with the combination of the pearls, like this is spot on, like a perfect red carpet look for the Grammys. 10 Yellow Hearts. Fitting for the colour of her dress too. Let's talk about Adele and Louis Vuitton. She didn't actually attend the red carpet, but she attended the event, and this is a custom piece, and I think this is so beautiful. It's so elegant. The shape of the off-the-shoulder neckline in the beautiful soft ruffles, it's just like highlighting the face, the old Hollywood glam hair, and then how it comes down into that 3/4 length sleeve. Again, it's a very elegant, flattering length of sleeve. And then you get the definition at the waist with that panel, and then the dress skims over her hips and falls to the floor. This is 10 yellow hearts for Adele. Let's wrap up this Grammys review of Beyonce in Gucci, and I posted the short form version of my review to TikTok, to YouTube Shorts, and so many of you said that you don't like this, and I'm shook. I absolutely love this. The mix metallic, the mix of the velvet in that beautiful bronzy shade, the detail of the boning, the sweetheart neckline, it almost gives a nude illusion because it's so close to her skin tone. And then that metallic leather wrapping under the bust in that very soft V shape, snatching her in at the waist, over the hips, and then it cascades down into this dramatic train with the ruffle. I don't understand what there isn't to love about this dress. Is it the combination of the velvet with the leather? Is it the ruffle? Like, please explain, because people have just been like, it's horrid, I don't like it, with no explanation as to why. I love the combination of the fabrics. I love the dramatic ruffle train. I love the high-low of it, how we get the flash of the leg with the silver heel, and then the styling of it for me is spot on. The black leather glove that comes up and it sits flush with where the silver wraps at the waist. And then the clavicle kept clean, there's nothing to distract. And then the wet look hair, it just, everything hits hard with this look. This is 10 yellow hearts. You don't have to agree with me, you can disagree with me all you want, but I absolutely love this. As promised at the start of the video, let's go through some of my least favourite looks. There were so many poor looks at the Grammys. I can't believe I sifted through like over 250 pictures and just disliked so many of them. Alicia Gaddis in this floral moment. It's just everything but the kitchen sink. All of the volume on the sleeves with the pink jewel ruffles, and then how you're getting the different shades and scales of flowers at the bust, and then it bursts out into this huge skirt, larger flowers, all of the different colours. It's just not flattering. There's so much volume to this dress, like no one would be able to pull this off. Aubrey Fisher, this is like a look that guys wear on like an everyday basis. The burgundy high neck, the skinny jean with the loafer, and then like the aviator jacket. It's just everyday. It's not Grammys red carpet at all. Like, what? Benny Blanco, we've already touched on this. This is just horrific. Big Frida, nothing about this goes or says Grammys red carpet. It literally looks like she's been out for the day and then just been like, oh yeah, I'm invited to the Grammys, let me rock up. The high shine mock effect blazer, the red quilted bag of the chain, and then the graffiti pants. Like, just nothing goes together with this at all. Cheryl B. Engelhardt, just the shape of the skirt. The skirt is so unflattering. It's trying to do low rise, but it's not low rise because you have the waistband and then the knife pleats, and then the fabric is just the wrong fabric. The fabric is looking very crunchy, it's too structured, but it's not structured enough to hold a pleat. It just goes... That's very technical, isn't it? It goes... And then the top itself, it looks like they've cut up these pieces of fabric, kept the raw edges to tie in to that like corsage around the neck. It's just... The thought that someone paid for a stylist to dress them or paid for a designer to dress them and this is what they put you in. Like Chiquise Rivera, I think this is just really chintzy. I think the combination of all of the crystals with the white, with the cutouts, the ruche detailing, there's just too much going on and it starts to read a bit tacky in my opinion. If this dress was all white and you had the neckline where it crosses over, didn't have those cutouts, it could be really elegant, but I think just the combination of the cutouts, the paneling of the white and the stones, and then all the different strap details around the neck, it just really leans in a more like chintzy direction. Devone Tynes, this just does not make sense for a red carpet. It looks like something you would like chill in the house in. DJ Spinderella, I don't think I've ever seen anyone show up to the Grammys wearing a top that says their own name. Like, I know personal branding is an important thing, but like this is taking it like a step way too far. Domi and JD Beck. I just don't even know where to start with this. The combination of that tan check with the blue bodysuit underneath and then the massive bunches with all of the clips in, it's just way too much. Like, why do you need the necklace around the check bodysuit? It's just bizarre. And then you've got a very similar thing going on with JD Beck, the dungarees with all of the applique, the bag with all of the applique, and then the floral print high neck bodysuit underneath. It's just so clashing. Way too much going on. These looks do not go together on the red carpet. It's just wild. Like, really wild. Hannah Mons, I think the top half has potential, but the bottom half, it's just way too much volume. There's way too many layers. It literally looks like one of those things that you like stick on top of like a toilet roll because it just comes out way too much like this. I feel the bottom half of the dress and the top half of the dress just don't belong together at all. Harry Styles, we've already touched on. Julia Michaels, I think it's just the cut of this dress is just so bizarre. The straight cut of the neckline and then how the cutout of the waist comes in so deep. And then the splits on the legs come up so high. I think if we pulled the cutout at the waist out, so it just came in ever so slightly, and then closed one of these splits up and made one of them like a tad shorter, it would be more flattering. But I think the straight neckline and then such a dramatic curve and then such a high split, the three things just don't sit together nicely in one garment. Rianne Teasdale and Hester Chambers of Wet Leg. These dresses just make no sense to me, especially Rianne Teasdale. The way this dress drapes on top of the new dress underneath, there's no consideration for how the drape is going to look on her body at all. Like, this piece that comes down and hangs right at the knee, like, how is that flattering? Like, this could have been so great if you draped that fabric over the top in a way that like really like enhanced and highlighted the shape of her body, but it's just done the complete opposite. And then Felicia Butterfield-Jones, the nude tone is completely wrong, a nude sequin, and then the fact it doesn't fit, like you can see how baggy it is under her arm, how baggy it is on the sleeve, and then it's baggy at the waist. There's no shape to it, so it just reads so wrong, especially on flash photography. A nude sequin, a nude colour sequin, I just don't think that should ever be a thing. And that was just a handful. So yeah, I've definitely been clinging on to the better looks in this review. Please let me know in the comments who are your favourite and least favourite looks. And if you've made it all the way through the video, thank you so, so much. Please leave me 3 of the double pink heart emojis in the comments. But thank you so much for watching. A massive thank you to everyone who's subscribed. You are the best. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.